Mad world that made me crazy. Might just turn around to 180. I ain't politicking, I ain't kissing no baby. The devil on my doorstep being so shady. Don't trip. We don't gotta let him in. Don't trip. Hey, yeah.
Alright, so today I am back in Michigan. I drove an insane amount of time last night to get here, and I'm going to be doing some work in the Miata. So next week I'm actually going to be getting the Miata to me in Chicago, so I'll be able to start pumping out videos again, but this is just something quick that I want to do here. I want to change the oil and install an oil cooler. So I got a Flyin Miata oil cooler. It's their kit, but it's essentially a C-Trab oil cooler, and their lines and their kind of setup that mounts into the stock oil cooler location. So that should be relatively straightforward. I'll be interested to see how well this works because I haven't driven the car on track, but I know that it will most likely overheat. So for the track, this is very much needed, but for the street, it's probably gonna take a lot of time to warm the car up, which is going to kind of suck. One of the things that I hate about my Mark 6 GTI is that it takes 15 minutes of driving to get it even close to operating temperature. You can't do anything fun with that. So hopefully it doesn't affect it too badly. We'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna do the oil cooler. I also want to drive the car. My brother installed an electronic boost controller instead of the manual boost controller that I was previously running. And there's a lot of benefits to that. We're going to make a video on it, most likely, but it makes about 20 wheel horsepower than before. So it's at 220 wheel, which again, it's not really close to where it's gonna be. I'm hoping for like 240 wheel, that'll be perfect. But it should absolutely rip now. The last time I drove it, it was at 200, so it should be just a blast to drive. So I'm very, very excited for that. But yeah, so let's do the oil cooler and the oil. Sweet. Okay, so got the car in the air. We only have 2 jack stands, so that'll have to do. It's pretty safe though. So I'm just going to drain the oil first, treat it like a normal oil change, and then we'll get into the actual install of the oil cooler.
Even worry, we just laughing, that's rich. You know how it goes, it ain't broke, don't fix. Hey, one of these days, well,
there we go. Alright, so here's what I'm working with. So 10W40, I usually run Mobile 1, but they didn't have any 1040 in the store, so I went with Valvoline, whatever, it's fine. Got a filter. So the oil cooler kit is really, really nice so far. It looks very, very complete. So here we have the actual oil cooler. Pretty nice quality. This is going to go basically right there, if you can see. So this is the front of the engine. You can see all the timing belts right there. It's gonna go right there, and it's actually gonna be a little bit angled. We have all the lines right here, stainless steel braided. Nice little fittings there. We have the oil cooler kind of housing here. There's a thermostat built in, if you look right there. So that'll be very nice. Comes with mounting brackets to mount it right here. So it should just go on the steering rack mounting points if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be very easy. So it should be a relatively straightforward install. We'll just finish up cleaning all of this area. Partially the reasoning is for this switch. So I haven't said it in an actual video, but we are going to have tune switching on this car. The reasoning behind that is having one map that is basically a street tune, 240 wheel horsepower, like full, just have fun boost. And then the second map is going to be track. So that'll be probably around 10 PSI, maybe. We're gonna kind of keep the torque pretty low, probably run around like 200, 210 wheel. The reasoning for that is heat. Believe it or not, when you put a turbo on a car that's not meant to have a turbo, typically they have heating problems. Having a map dedicated for the track will allow us to kind of make sure that the car is in a safe power level and yeah, it'll be really cool. Yeah, definitely much cleaner than before. I'll show the before picture, and here is the after.
Yeah, should be much better.
Yeah, so very satisfying switch too.
You and homie stood together, told her I could wait forever. I just hope you don't plan on taking that long, no. My love letter more like keys into your heart. That ain't my fingers on that all, but I too often press the wrong note. Sought to a best, talk to the rest part. Caught you a glance for you.
Okay, so we're looking right where the oil cooler is going to be installed. We have the bracket right here. This is the passenger side bracket. It's a little bit different than the driver's side. This is more of like a straight shot. So I'm going to walk you through what I did to move this hose, which I believe is for the AC, back. So when I first got under and I kind of test fitted the oil cooler, this was just full contact and it would not move back. I took off, there's a bolt that goes through there that is actually in that position. So I took that out, moved this over, so that got us like maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches of room. That was good. And then I zip tied this hose to this power steering cooling line. Put a little piece of rubber there so it's nice and protected, and yeah, that's awesome. So when you fit it up, it fits just about perfect.
Bad thoughts, you call me an asshole. Let's chalk on the asphalt. You're killing me. If you ain't interview like what I got in the hills. Off the clock, we can chill if you got time in the kill. I got a spot we can fill. A couple blacks in the field. I know a house is not a home.
Okay, so here I have it out of the car, the actual complete kit. So when you are ready to tighten everything down, take it out of the car. Just take it out of the car, that way you can position everything. So what I did was I tightened these up in the position that they need to be, and then I tightened this up after that. Because there's no actual way to tighten this and position that at the same time in the car. You just can't. And if you're wondering for the sizes, Flyin Miata did not have these in the instructions. This fitting is a 7/8, and this guy is a 1 inch. So if you're doing this, those are the sizes. I'm gonna put some oil on this guy and throw it back in the car and see if it doesn't leak. Not really too sure, but we'll see.
Yeah, it might take, I don't know, at least 4. So that should be 5, so.
Okay, first start with the new oil cooler on. There's no really way to know the level, so hopefully we don't blow a motor here, but you know, I don't know. Right. Alright, so we finished buttoning everything up. We actually did something really cool. So Flyin Miata had this in their pictures. They kind of cut almost like a duct using the stock airbox, or where the f did I get airbox? They cut a flap in the stock under tray. Now what that allows you to do is kind of have almost a duct that funnels air up, and it's perfect because this is actually closed up here. It's all closed up there, which is fantastic for actual airflow because you really don't want to have any gaps here, which obviously there are some gaps, but I can improve on that. So overall, this is a fantastic setup, and yeah, I'm just really excited. I don't see this overheating on track anymore. Alright, so we're going to let it idle and get warm and hopefully it doesn't leak. And yeah, we'll get ready to drive it. Alright, so that's going to do it for today's install of the oil cooler. I think it turned out fantastic. We're going to see how it actually runs. We're going to take it for a long drive right now, and it's actually going to be kind of crazy because now the car makes 20 more wheel horsepower than I'm used to. So definitely watch the next video. I'm going to upload them at the same time, so you can just head over there. I'll link it below. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, just let me know. See ya.